Thank you. I'm really, really proud to be here. Kathy, my wife was Kathy Kamen Goldmark, who died on May 24th after a long battle with breast cancer. And it was a fearless and wonderful, but above all, she loved life, and she would love this. So this is the kind of thing she supported 1,000%. And me too. So I'm really proud to be here. I'm going to read a piece from her book, her novel, And My Shoes Keep Walking Back to You. It's a comic novel. When Kathy was dying, just a few really hours before she died, when someone is dying, if you've ever been in a room with someone dying, people, I'm the husband, she would kind of come out of this state, and people would go, Sam, get up there, she's awake. And they'd push me up, and I was pushed up to the end of the bed, and she looked at me and she said, Rosebud. And I looked at Kathy, and then I looked over at my daughter, who was at one side, her son Tony was on the other side, and I said to my daughter, did Kathy just say Rosebud? And Laura said, yes, she did. And I said, Kathy, are you giving a shit? And she said, yes. So this is from her novel. So she was funny to the end. This is from her novel, and the setting is that a young country western songwriting star has become pregnant by a man who it's not going to work out that he's going to be the dad. And her Aunt Pearl is a fanatic health food person who doesn't believe in doctors at all. I think she thinks Western medicine is wrong. She believes in all things natural. So this is the young country western star with her Aunt Pearl as she's preparing, coming close to the time for childbirth. Young lady, it's time we discussed your childbirth options, Aunt Pearl said. She was holding a sheaf of notes and looked like she meant business. I groaned and lifted myself off the sofa. What do you mean? I've been seeing Dr. Terry. I just assumed I'd go to childbirth classes at the hospital and then we'd deliver the baby. There's a problem with that. Dr. Terry is very medical in her thinking. Well, she is a doctor, I reminded Pearl. You see, that's exactly what I mean. Now that you're starting your third trimester, there's no time to lose. I think you should consider an alternative. The Bilotti community. You remember Desi, who fixes our dishwasher? He's one of them. I know the guru from Brooklyn. A couple of his wives are pregnant right now. And they're holding natural childbirth classes with their own midwife. Since Harvey and I go way back, he said you can join them. Who's Harvey? The community spiritual leader. Around here, he goes by Avatar D.O. Bala. But to me, it'll always be Harvey Kirschbaum from Flatbush Avenue. All I ask is that you give it a try. You can always go back to Dr. Terry if you don't like them. A little research around town revealed that Avatar D.O. Bala had been a child tap dancing star. He once appeared in purple sequins on the Ed Sullivan Show. Then a promising dental student before finding God in a nitrous tank and starting his own religion. Theologically, they borrowed liberally from Buddhist traditions with a bit of Yiddish folk wisdom thrown in. There were no signs marking the entrance to the Bilotti community, but on a small wooden plaque next to the driveway were carved 3 words that appeared to be used as a kind of all-purpose greeting. Life goes on. Members of the community were slender, clear-eyed, and serene. They wore rubber flip-flop sandals and dressed in purple. The brighter, the better. It was a tranquil place, so it surprised me to see Pearl slam the car door and run to the gate yelling, Yo, Harvey, we're here! Come on out of you spiritual old fart! A smiling, bald-headed man with wire-rimmed glasses appeared. He was decked out in saffron robes, but otherwise he looked like a dentist from Brooklyn. Pearly, how by you? I see you finally brought your beautiful niece along. Hi, sweetheart. We love your music up here. Maybe sometime you can bring the band up here and play for us. Not next week, because we have to practice for our soccer tournament with Swami Sammy's Temple of Insecurity, but any time after that. Meanwhile, you'll want to meet Molly, the midwife. I don't know what we'd do without Molly. Come with me now, darling. Our morning meditation is about to begin. Morning meditation? I whispered to Pearl. It's past noon. Harvey always liked to sleep in. She explained, come on. We slipped out of our shoes and entered a large domed room. I sat quietly in the back next to 2 other pregnant women on folding chairs. Pearl assumed full lotus position at my feet. There were 70 or 80 of them chanting quietly before a raised platform covered with flowers, fruit, crystals and framed photographs of Harvey, mostly in his Swami getup, but a couple appeared to be pose shot with celebrities seated around tables at Trader Vic's. Harvey himself entered through a side door, and everyone rose to greet him. He raised his arms and chanted to the assemblage, "O Baladi! O Baladi! O Baladi! O Baladi!" They responded. Then, "O Balida! O Balida!" And Harvey repeated, "O Blalada! O Balada!" Sorry about that, I blew that line. He brought his hands together, bowing from the waist. "Life goes on! Life goes on!" repeated his followers, who then joined in a high-pitched chant. "La la 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 la! Life goes on!" he cried, and then they did the whole thing over again about 30 or 40 times. As the chanting ended, Aunt Pearl scooted over and whispered, "Here comes the moment where Harvey blesses everyone with a thought for the day. Pay attention, it's the best part." Harvey cleared his throat. "My lesson for the day is this. Always remember, the clothes do not go through the water goes through the clothes." "Ah," said the gathering. "Oh yes, so very true." "What's that supposed to mean?" I whispered to Pearl. "Don't forget how they make their living. They own the best washing machine repair service in the county. Why Harvey is known as the Spin Cycle Swami. For this group, those are words to live by." Harvey bowed again. "Life goes on," he shouted. "Life goes on," was the crowd's joyful response. "Let's have lunch," cried Harvey. After meditation, we had a vegetarian feast with Molly and a tour of the compound that included their birthing tent. Molly explained that the Baladis believed in an afterlife that takes the form of the last song you heard when you were alive. So, for example, if you checked out in the middle of Buck Owens' Truck Driving Man, you'd end up in a very different heaven from someone who was listening to Aerosmith. For this reason, their musical environment was under Harvey's strict control. "I should consider it a great honor," Molly said, "that he liked my song and had invited my band up to play. I was polite, but I couldn't wait to get Pearl alone in the car." "Come on, Aunt Pearl, spill," I said as we were driving away. "That was a pretty elaborate for a practical joke. What's the deal?" "What do you mean? They're serious, committed people, and they are absolutely lovely." "That is no joke." "Obladi, oblada." It's a Beatles song. You can't seriously tell me that your pal based a whole religion on a Beatles song, can you? So all of a sudden you got something against the Beatles? Anyway, he forgot the bra. It goes, "Obladi, oblada, life goes on, bra." "Nitpicking, always nitpicking," Pearl grumbled. "No bras up here, sweetie. They don't need them. They do yoga." Thank you.